man. Way up yonder.
Green revolution saw because of the unbalanced ecological role that presented itself in terms of cultivating one particular crop in very large scale. Definitely saw where the inputs based on synthetic fertilizers, synthetic pesticides, fungicides, herbicides really became, in terms of production, where even today we see where in terms of agricultural production, even in the developing world, the use of these agrochemicals have definitely become a mainstay, but they have presented serious ecological challenges and health concerns in terms of moving forward based on that stewardship towards the environment and public health and safety.
So I'm currently on my way to Lewin's farm. My friend, his name is Courtney. Alright guys, so I'm waiting on Courtney now to come and meet me. I am on the flat. Courtney's farm is way up in the mountains, and my car is not able to make the journey up there because it's not a four-wheel drive. So I am just waiting on Courtney to come and pick me up. So I'll see you in a few. So how important is it important to put the seedlings in trays, or are there other ways that we can do the seedlings?
Well, there's the old-fashioned way. I don't know if you would have known about how our foreparents used to grow seeds or sow seeds. They just dig up a little bed and they would just sprinkle the seeds in it, and then sometimes they would cover it with a little sand, and then they would put a piece of plastic or even banana, the green banana leaf. They just cover it, and every morning and evening they would water it. Yes, and then until it germinates. So when it germinates now, you have your plants there. So they would pick them out one by one, and then they would plant them when they come to perfection. But with these, they stay in there until they're ready to plant it. So I think this now would be a lot easier. What I do really with this, there is the potting soil. There's an organic potting soil that we get, and we mix it with our soil because our soil is actually packed with nutrients. You notice anything will grow on the soil. grass or anything will just grow like that. But we add a little bit of the organic potting soil to our own soil. The potting soil aids in the germination process and all of that. So when you mix the potting soil with the dirt that we have, you get a better rate of germination within it. So that's basically
So when you say our soil, you mean
our dirt.
Jamaican?
Yeah, man, our dirt. What we
Okay.
call dirt. So what we sieve our soil. We sieve our soil, and then we add little sand to it. We add a little manure to it, but not the strong sense of manure. Later on, I guess I'll tell you about the kind of manure that we use. But yeah, you add a little bit of manure. You sieve everything, and we store them in drums like these, right? Yeah, so we store them. So each time we want to use, we can just dip in it and take out what we want, pull out the trays, and then we drop our seeds in there one. It takes time, but as I say, you have to have patience. So once you have that, then you're good to go. And it's not forever. So once in a while, we come and we fill up the table and do all we have to do. Yeah.
Water this night.
So you say with this now you sieve?
Yeah, man, it's something that's been sieve already.
Okay.
You understand? And there's a little manure add to it.
So that's regular dirt.
Yes, man. Regular dirt.
You sieve, and then you add a little manure to it.
See, they sieve the manure same way.
Okay.
And sometimes, for instance, the coconut kaya from the grow bags. The coconut kaya from the grow bags, we add that to it to maintain the moisture within the soil. So for instance, if the sun hot on your water, at least you have something there to hold the water. Because even yesterday when the breeze was blowing, the breeze suck out majority of the water in the plant. Yes, so you have to really gear your mind up for all of that. So whenever you're making like your own potting soil and all of that, you have to know exactly what to do, right? And if you're living in an area which is hot, if where you're at is cool, then you have less problem to worry about. But once it's hot like here, or hotter, then you have to add some things to the water, the earth, or the potting soil to make it maintain that water inside of it. Yeah, so as I was saying, these are containers that are ready to plant. So like this evening, we're going to jump into these and start planting. So what we do, we plant in the evening. Reason being, in the evening when you plant it, have the whole night to get refreshed and ready to move, right? When you plant it like in the morning now, you have the whole day worth of hot sun to contain it. So sometimes the plant, it stifles the plant, right? In the night when you plant the product, then by morning, it start gaining strength already. You understand? And there's no sun to really affect it at that point in time. So what we do, we plant, and then we water, and then like tomorrow morning, we come back and water again. And it, all right, through the day. Then we really go down so easily. So this is what it is. But as I said, these are some of the plants that we brought up from the nursery that are going to be put in all of these, right? And if you look on top, these are what we call the finished product. Yeah? So these are just some of the lettuce that you see in the nursery. The manure that we use, it's the cow manure or the goat manure. We might use a little chicken manure. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, But the chicken manure has a lot of hormone in it. And based on the hormone that it has in it, it sometimes tends to burn the plant, right? So sometimes you have to leave the manure there for a while to break down before you can use it, right? So what we do, like the beds over there now, those are what we use the manure in. The chicken manure in. These are what we use, like the cow manure and the goat manure in, because those are more potent. And as you put that manure inside the dirt and mix it up, you can plant same time, and you don't have no issue with that. Yeah, we call it shade cloth. Well, if you go to the ask mesh, it's a different thing than our gear. So we call it shade cloth. It's I think it's about 50% sun or 50% shade. That's what basically what we term it as. So it breaks a bit of the sunlight, right? You get your direct sun, yes, but it breaks a bit of the sunlight because especially like in the midday hours, when the sun is extremely hot, you don't want that extreme heat that bear down on them. Because at some point in time, like let's say me forget for water this morning, or I didn't get the chance to water this morning. I can't wait until later or tomorrow morning before I water again. I mean, I have the problem because of the mesh, right? If it was a direct sun, I have to make it my point of duty every single morning and evening to water. So you can skip one of the session and not water, and you're all right same way. And then the mesh again, based on the breaking of the sunlight, it keeps the plant tender. So you notice, I don't know if you happen to taste lettuce and you taste like, you wonder if some form of sugar in it or something. Because it have this little sweet taste within it, right? That's because it get the sunlight, it don't get the full sunlight. So then it tends to maintain the nutrients. And as I said, I love the sunlight more than even growing it under the UV plastic. This is just one pack of green oak leaf that I got, right? This look like a young worm just start. Young worm just start on this one, right? So you see, because you see this now, and you inspect the rest of the leaf and you don't see nothing, you get rid of this leaf, right? Okay. Once you get rid of it, you at least put a damp on it, right? So what we do, we leave these, we plant these in the containers and we leave them to grow. Big tree, you nourish them as much as you can. So every now and then, we'll come and we get some goat manure, we throw around the root of it, right? And we water it as often as possible. You allow it to grow big. So what I do, for instance, I would take off the leaves to make salad home. And then I leave the tree to continue growing until it push up the long stem. When it push up the long stem now, that's when it's ready to blossom, right? Okay. And one of these trees will give you maybe more than 2,000 seeds. You understand? And when we do that now, we have the seeds to store. These are what well, if you notice, the bamboos are old because they are over 2 years. Yes. All of these bamboos are over 2 year old. Your bamboo, when you cut the bamboo the right time, that's how long it lasts, right? And remember, say, 3 days before or after the full moon. Once you cut it that time, then you're in for a good running out of it, right? And try not to use the young bamboos. Look for the nice, big, sturdy, fit ones. How you know that your soil is real organic? You ever try to store this soil, for instance, say rain fall, and the soil wet, and you start storage. One of the reasons why these remember I telling you they were flooded out? Yeah. Some of them were flooded out. One of the reasons why they were flooded out, because of the worms them. Okay. A lot of worm in them soil there. Whole heap of worm. When we say whole heap, when you push the machete down, you cut worm. Reason being, the richness in the soil. That's what breeds the worm in the soil. Right? So when you look, you see a whole heap of earthworm. When you turn over the soil, you see a whole heap of earthworm. That shows that your soil is organic. Now, if I was using anything else in there, do you think those worms would live in there? Ah.
In about the year 2019, I did a brief medical missionary training at the Riversdale Training Institute, and a part of the curriculum included agriculture, and I learned a whole lot after visiting Courtney's farm that first time. I went ahead and I did some research for myself, and I really enjoyed learning how to farm well. And so I'm gonna leave some of my notes in this video, as well as show you some pictures of, well, only one attempt that I made, which turned out pretty good. Even my neighbor liked it and told me that I should do this much bigger than I did it at that time. So go ahead and check that out.
Comfrey has NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium.
NPK. Repeat that again.
NPK. And in addition, it has all the major nutrients that the plants need.
This plant right
This
here.
plant, Comfrey, it grows every year.
So how will I make this into a substance that I can use for my garden? How do I do it?
3 ways you can do it. You can put it on the bed just like that. And
Like this?
Yeah, just so. And it will break down.
Just lay it on the, like on the bed?
On the bed. And it
Like
will break
this?
down. Just like this. Put it around the plant and it will break down.
Okay, that's number 1.
Number 2, you can plant a large field and tractor it into the soil in the spring.
Turn it over.
Turn it over. And it will help the plants to grow.
That's number 2. All right.
And the third way, you can take it, get a good handful, put in a container of water, and allow it to soak for after 3 days.
Well, how big a container?
Any size that suits your needs.
So just take a handful of comfrey and put it in the water.
Put it in the water.
And let it sit there.
Let it sit there for
outdoors or anywhere?
Outdoors. Indoors, it doesn't matter.
And let it soak.
You let it soak.
For 3 days.
For 3 days. After 3 days, you apply it to the roots of the plants.
Apply it to the roots of the plants.
Epsom salt is good to put in the holes when you're planting them and fill the hole with water. Teaspoon of Epsom salt and fill the hole with water. They do very well. Epsom salt helps with the general growth of the plant and has a high content of magnesium, which aids in the growth and development of the plant. The soil is rich, very fertile.
When there are a lot of worms in the soil,
Yes.
it means that it's rich and fertile.
Yes, but when you use chemicals, they destroy the earthworms. Yes. So when you use the organic material like leaves and hay and straw and wood mulch and sawdust and pine needles, kitchen compost, the things in nature, the earthworms feed on them and they go to work for you to aerate the soil and to make it richer. And then your microorganisms go to work for you. But when you have the chemicals in the soil, they kill them out. And it's always good when you finish preparing the bed to cover the bed, because if you don't, the sun bleaches out the nutrients from the soil and it makes it very hard. And then the earthworms hide from the sun. They go deep down in the earth and the microorganisms, so therefore they can't work for you. So it is not good to leave the bed, the soil exposed. Once you've prepared the bed for planting, it must be covered.
Thanks for watching. I hope that this served as a kickstarter to your journey of organic farming. But there's more. For exclusive access to more tips from Courtney's farm, please click the link in the description below. Enjoy.